Hello, hello, hello. Getting everything set up. This should just take me a few minutes. And once I get everything set up, we'll start the stream. Big day today. A lot of stuff that I want to do. Let's see, Twitch. Just want to make sure that the stream is looking good, and then once I get that done, I'll open up the code. I'll let people know I'm live. All right, stream looks good. Let's do a little tweety tweet. And we'll go from there. Twitter. Pixel. All right, I think I'm almost done with this tweet. Just want to make sure I spelled everything right because I'm a terrible speller. Live on Twitch this morning doing some more game dev on Reaper Boy. Going to try to get touch controls working and clean up Xcode 8's Unity runner. Check out. Okay, so while that tweet goes out, I'm going to go get my tablet. I'm hoping today we have a little bit better day than we did yesterday. We ran into a lot of technical hurdles. I don't even know if we got past all of them, but what I want to make sure is, hold on, I gotta turn off my monitor because I'm hearing myself. What I want to focus on today, let me actually turn down the volume on the tablet. What we're gonna do, let me open up excuse me, I have let's see here, where's Spotify? I'm gonna listen to some music for myself. All right, so the goal of what we're gonna do today is we're gonna try to I just want to add some basic touch controls to Reaper Boy, which was a Ludum Dare game that I wrote in Pixelvision 8, which is my my game engine. Let's hide all this menu bar stuff, and then what I want to do is, it was apps, Visa. All right, so this will show you the output of my tablet. And what I wanted to do is, I think I'm going to take a step back, and I want to try to get some of these, I want to try to clean up this Unity runner. So let's see if we can figure out a way to do that. I'm going to make a new, oops, shows me like ads. Let's see if we can add a new task. We'll call this Pixel PV8 Unity Runner. And there's like a few subtasks that I wanted to do today. I want to clean up to run on Android. I need to move demo runners into core to main scripts folder. And I think that should be it for right now. We'll go through. I also want to test out some iOS stuff too to make sure that we didn't break anything. In fact, before we even get into that, let me I'm going to close this out. Let's see if we can let's open up Unity. I'm going to open up the project we had yesterday. Been a lurking fan of mine for years. Great to see you streaming. That splash screen looks amazing. Yeah, the splash screen was done by Cast Pixel, Christina. She's amazing. She's like the best, one of the best pixel artists I've worked with ever. Reaper Boy Unity Runner. So, well, welcome to the stream. Hopefully it goes a little bit better today than it did yesterday. Yesterday was terrible. It was 3 hours of me fighting with Unity to get it to work. Let's see if this works. All right. The first thing we're going to do, just as a sanity check this morning, is to just compile this guy and see if it actually works for Android. So let's do this. I'm going to quit out of this. Whoops. And so that's what you see on my tablet. I'm going to come back here and we're going to do a build and a run and just make sure that this guy is running. Oh, I should turn off the... I should also mute this. Yeah, it's Cast Pixel, right? Let me look up on Twitter and just make sure I got her Twitter correct here. Cast Pixel, and I'll paste it into the comments. Okay, so let's see. This should be booting up, and it does take some time to load. I don't know what that's about, but there we go. Everything seems to be running, and the game is finally compiling again. So that being said, let's do an iOS build real quick, because I had to modify some code here, and I'm not 100% sure it's going to run on iOS anymore. So let's do a build, and we'll make a new folder, builds iOS, and we'll call this a Reaper Boy, and save it. So for iOS, it's going to generate out a Xcode project. Let's close this guy down for a little bit. And once it generates out this Xcode project, I'll just do a quick compile. I think when it gets generated, I'm gonna have to clean up a few things. It's been so long since I've used Xcode, so it takes me a little while to get sort of back in the swing of things. But we'll see if we can get this. I just want to make sure. So the biggest lesson that we learned yesterday was that on Android, I can't just access the streaming assets folder of Unity just like a regular file system, because it's, I guess, compiled in and compressed. If I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, I can't find it. And while I was able to come up with a workaround for Reaper Boy, to get all of Pixel Vision 8 to run on Android is going to be a whole lot of work now. So I can fix it, but what I want to make sure is that we don't run into the same problem in iOS. So here's Xcode. I just have the beta. Let's look for projects, Reaper Boy, build, iOS, Reaper Boy, open. And then I think I'm going to have to fix I'm probably going to have to, it's got to process all this. Oh, this takes forever. All right, while it figures out what its mission in life is. I want to go into documents, projects, and I believe I downloaded the Unity runner. I was going to try not to do coding on coding of the game engine in here, but I might wind up trying to do it. Let me get status. I'm in version. I'm on framework. I'm in branch 1.8. Let me cd into assets, streaming assets, Lua demos, and do git status. Right, so detached heads. Let's do git fetch. So I'm using submodules in the Pixel Vision 8 Unity runner, which makes everything a pain in the butt. Let me, it looks like all the projects are here. All I need to do is git branch v 1.8.0 features. Git branch. Git check. I think I screwed this up. Git checkout v1. I screwed this up. I need to, before I do anything really stupid, let me go and just, I'm going to try to just, I don't know why I made that branch like that. I was an idiot. I should have checked it out. I've been up since 4 a.m., so we'll see how my brain works. I'm just going to delete everything in here so I don't screw anything up. Move to trash. And then what we'll do is print working directory, clear cd, print working directory. So then git submodule update init, and that should now pull out. That should now pull down the Lua demos again. Perfect. All right, so now we can go assets, streaming assets slash Lua demos, and then here git status. So it's a detached head, git fetch, git check out v 1.8.0 features. So if you're just tuning in, I'm just taking I'm trying to just get all my stuff organized for the morning. Git status. One of which is, if you go to it's on GitHub /Pixel Vision 8 is my game engine. It's my open source game engine. It's a fantasy game console written in C#. So I have a version that runs in Unity. I'm just getting this Unity runner set up because we're going to do some code changes in here today, and I just want to make sure that all the code is correct. Print working directory, assets, list cd, Pixel Vision, SDK, git status. All right, cool. So everything should be up to date now. All right, we can close this terminal out. Agree the submodules aren't easy and ask people to have even more Git. Yeah, you have to really be. What I'm going to do is when I do this next release, in the releases, I'm going to create a binary so that people don't have to deal with configuring this through the submodule. It's just a nasty pain in the butt. The other reason I was doing this is I wanted to, I think if I do a build, it's going to tell me there's a code signing error. Yeah, just show me. Ugh, it used to take me to where I could do the code signing. Unity iPhone. So I'm going to name this guy. So I'm trying to do. So this is like a really good insight into how my brain works, because I'm usually working on like 3 or 4 things at the same time because I'm incredibly impatient. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to set up an Xcode build of Reaper Boy. I just verified that Android still works. We want to make sure that on iOS, there isn't anything special that I need to do for streaming assets folder. Because we learned yesterday that the streaming assets folder on Android is, it's compressed. So you have to unzip it and it screws up the way that I have everything set up. So let's call this Reaper Boy, and this will be com.pixelvision8 Reaper Boy. Version 1.0 build, automatically, sure. We're going to select Team Jesse. I don't even know what deployment target. We'll leave it as is universal. We'll leave all this stuff the same. The only thing I don't know is identity and type. Unity iPhone. I don't know what this is. It's been like a really long time since I've used Xcode. So I just know like the basics of how to get things to compile and test. So let's do this here. And one thing I want to see is mirror iPad to Mac. Install Reflector. Once installed, run the app on your Mac. How to mirror your iPhone. I feel like in QuickTime, of all like places, I feel like there was a way that I could actually view new screen recording. I feel like Jesse's iPad. There we go. Whoops. Oh no, are you guys getting that stuff? I'm sorry. Is that my music going there? Did I break everything? All right, that was weird. I guess because I'm playing music. No. I'm playing music off of my iPad, so when I tried to capture from the screen, it seemed to have. Xcode Continuous Jesse's iPad is connected. Yeah, it's connected, dude. I wonder if Xcode and everything else was. Hold on, I'm going to unplug it, and let's re-plug it back in, and see if it detects. Let's cancel this, restart it. I don't know. Maybe like too many things were having. A build-only device cannot be used to run. Build-only device cannot be used to run this target. No supported iOS devices are available. Connect a device to run your application. Choose simulator. There. All right. Let me just try to build it. I'll look into a way to. Running on iPad. Oh, okay. It's loading up. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, it works. That's awesome. Too bad it doesn't use my keyboard. That'd be cool. All right, that's discerning because I want to be able to get. At some point, I actually want to be able to get. I want to be able to get the game creator to run on any tablet that has a keyboard. So okay. Well, good news is that this actually still works. So I think I fixed the streaming. I think I fixed the streaming assets folder issue we had yesterday, and I'm going to switch back over to desktop. What we could do is, I wonder if we should try a WebGL build. That might like just that's like a time sink. I'll do that on my own time. I'm not going to waste your guys' time with that. Let's make sure we can do a quick build for Mac. And if that's the case, then I'm going to migrate over the hack that I did here to get this stuff working. And we're going to try to restructure the the Unity project so that it works on multiple platforms. All right, 768. This is going to get loud. All right, it works. Good. All right, so here's what I wound up doing yesterday. I see that Mike's in the stream. Hey, Mike. Mike had tweeted saying he had an interesting solution too for it. I saw he was going like platform by platform to handle the streaming assets folder. What I had just done was, it turns out okay, this is where Unity is sort of like really weird. All right. If you call application.streamingassets path, on desktop, it's just going to give you the path to the streaming assets folder. On mobile, it's going to give you the path, but it's also going to add the extra stuff you need. Like if it's like there's like a certain, like you have to add something in front of file:// for Android and for iOS. So what I wound up doing is I just realized that, okay, so on desktop it just doesn't know that it's that. So if the path starts with a /, I simply just add file:// and that resolves the path correctly. If it's on mobile, the application.streaming_assets path field gives you back the correct, or property gives you back the correct path. So anyway, so this seems to be working. What I want to do is we're going to modify this. Let me go into, I had set up an issue yesterday in this somewhere here. Unable to point to Lua runner to a PV8 file. Let me restart this. I feel like, yeah, okay. I'm going to just edit this and we'll put this code in here. So this seems to fix the problem. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the full Unity runner and all those examples to work, but it's going to be a little bit more complicated because I have to zip them up because on mobile they just don't work. But we'll cross that bridge when we have to. There's a few things I want to restructure here. So let's quit out of writer. All right, as far as I'm concerned, Reaper Boy works right now. So this is good. And we were able to get an Xcode project. And let's do this. Let's close out all this help that I was looking for yesterday to try to figure out how to fix this problem. And we got a few little issues here. Add support for loading file from WebGL. Right, I haven't tested out WebGL yet. Look into why Unity Runner has low-res icons. Unable to point Lua runner to PVA file, which we are going to fix, and add Rider plugin to the ignore so people aren't using Rider, they don't have to deal with that. So, all right, I think that solves the problems. Reaper Boy update. I just want to make sure I now saying that we've compiled for Android, we have iOS, we add score and rank. We haven't done any of these other things. We can add this stuff later. Yeah, like yesterday I wanted to actually code and that didn't seem to happen. So I think the next step is let's go into Unity and let's try to refactor the I'm just shutting down my tablet so it's not going through its battery. And let me get rid of this too. We don't need this anymore. So what I want to do is let's open up this Unity runner, and I want to do a little bit of refactoring in order to sort of clean this up, because what I want to get to the point is where basically if you download the Unity runner, if you delete the demos folder, if you delete the demos folder, it should get rid of all of the projects. You don't have to worry about it. And what we might try to do is maybe we can move the Lua demos. Let's add this as a list. PV8 Unity runner. Move Lua demos to demos folder in a new streaming assets folder. We'll need to fix path. All right, so the goal of what I want to do next is I just want to try to I want to make it where if you just download this, you can basically just delete the demos folder and still have everything you need to run. So let's take a look. There's two scenes here that I want to pull out and make them at the root of the folder. And it should be the empty template demo runner. These two right here should be at the root of the folder. So when you go to assets and you open up this thing, you would have these two files here at the root. In fact, one thing we should do, I don't know. I hate it when a project is like, it isn't in its own folder, but there's not much I could do about it right now. Because this is nested into another thing and becomes like a big pain. I don't know, maybe, normally what I would do is I would create a new folder here, and I would call this folder, this would be PV8 Unity Runner. And then I put everything else inside of it. But there's a problem with the streaming assets folder where it breaks everything. So I'm going to leave this as the root. We'll leave it as the root for right now. So what I'm trying to get to is the point where if you just open up this project and you open up the template here and you hit play, you'll immediately just see an empty template. And then when you look in the streaming assets, it should just have this empty template. And in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to convert this empty template into a .pv8 file just to make sure that it works. So let's reveal this in Finder, and we should be able to just right-click and compress all this stuff and call this empty template, and we'll make this a PV8 file. So all PV8 files are just zips. And in fact, let's move this up a directory here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just modify this code here so that it's able to load up that zip file. And this will become the basis of building your own runner. Again, what I'm going for is all this is pretty good right now. I feel like it's pretty stable. I just want to make it so that the next release, which I'm calling a beta, is going to be the most stable. And if you want to just download it, you should be able to just get everything working with very little effort. So Unity plugin update. Great. Oh, while we're at it, let's do this. Let's go in here. Oh, you know what? Let's quit JetBrains real quick. And let's do the first task, which is adding in the git ignore file. I want to add an ignore for writer. I saw in another project that it gave me a little bit of trouble, so I'm just a little leery of what happens if somebody downloads the project, they don't have writer, if it starts giving you problems. So in Super Zombie Runner, if we look at this git ignore file here and we open this up, we'll just use text edit. I just created this here for JetBrains stuff. And let's go into this git ignore. And before we even do that, let's go into assets, plugins, editor, and we're just going to delete this entire thing, move to trash. Now, there's one problem. I shouldn't have moved this stuff around just yet, but let's see if we can just commit that one change. So Git Status. So what I want to do is git add assets / plugins. So include what will be committed. So right, so we empty stream, streaming assets, demos. Right, okay, we're ignoring all this stuff. All we're going to do is we're just going to commit this change. So git commit removed writer plugin. Then the next thing we want to do is let's open up our git ignore file. Open with text edit. And there should be a place here where I do IDE stuff. Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Oh, I'm in the Unity. No. Why is it? That's strange. It should have been ignored. Maybe I never deleted it from the repo. Open with text editor, git ignore. I'm in the Unity runner. And I'm down here and it says that this plugin is ignored. So let's save this and then reopen in Rider and see what happens. Because now when it reopens in Rider, it should automatically try to create a new plugin. And we'll just make sure that that's not part of the list. That, or I'm just looking in the wrong directory. So now if we look at assets, or yeah, assets, plugins. Huh, it didn't add the plugin. Strange. Oh, there we go. So it created a new plugin, it added the editor and JetBrains, and there we go. So it was automatically installed. Now, if we come back here and we do Git Status, plugins editor is added, but the JetBrains stuff is gone. So, okay, I just didn't delete it from the project. So we are good to go here. Let's close out this one task. Why do I have two audio monitors open? All right, hopefully that was the one that doesn't cut out my sound. Oh, all right, good. My sound still works. So let's see, where was all right, we fixed this. This is fixed. And let's close out this comment. So the next thing I wanted to do real quick, well, the Pomodoro is over. Let's Unity runner. Let's see, what do we want to do? What do we did? We closed this out, Unity runner. We started working on the Unity runner, and we're also working on Reaper Boy update. What demos? We're starting this, and that's fine. All right, we'll just submit this because we haven't really done much of anything else. So I use this thing called Pomo To Do, which keeps track of, it lets me do, it's a task list and a Pomodoro timer combined into one, which is surprisingly convenient. All right, what I want to do is, let's go back into Unity real quick, and we're going to move a few things around. The first thing that I want to do is, why is this moved? Demos. Draw Sprite demo. Strange. Let me delete this. I should test this out real quick. Scenes. Let's see. Canvas demo works. We'll just do some random ones. The font demo works. We can try the C# one. So a big part of the way that I architect Pixel Vision 8 is that there's two layers to it. You can either do everything in C#. It's a pure C# library. So it's just implemented in Unity. All you need to do is anything that would run C#, you just need to implement a display and map the input in. The core of it is all software render, and it's basically designed to be a standardized fantasy game console. So there's two examples. There's either a Lua, so then on top of it is a Lua layer. So I use a plugin called, or I use an SDK called Moonsharp, which is a Lua interpreter written entirely in C#. And that calls all of the same C# APIs, except it uses Lua. So there's two demos for each. Let's take a look at the Sprite stress test. We'll look at that in C# and make sure that that runs. And there's very little performance hit between the Lua and the regular C#. I mean, you get an overhead inside of the Unity IDE, but outside of it, it's not really noticeable. But here you'll see we're hovering at around like 54, 55 frames a second. I'm seeing a lot of 56s in there, whereas the C# one is going to be pretty close to 60 frames a second. So right now it's at 59 frames a second. So, you know, what are we looking at? If we had, what was it? It was like 55 divided by 59, you know, minus 1. We're looking at like a 6-7% performance hit, which isn't bad, all things considered. The cool thing about the Lua one is that when even if you're in the Unity IDE, you can hold down. I'm doing the C#. Let me go into the Lua one. If you wanted, you could just run Unity like this, make your changes to the Lua file and hold down Shift-1 and it'll restart. It's hard to see. You'll see it'll like change that and it'll go back to pink. So that's some of the advantages of the Lua stuff. So the way I designed the framework is that I wanted something that allowed me to easily sketch out game ideas. So I have like a Lua game creator. And then when I need to build something more complicated, I can either port the stuff over from Lua or keep it all in Lua and then just bridge additional logic in through C#. So all this is here. What I wanted to do now is I just wanted to move into the scripts folder. There should be a demo runner and a Lua demo runner. And I want to move runner. So we're going to move the base runner into runners. And in the scripts folder, we're going to move the demo runner and the Lua demo runner into the runners folder. So now the way that we have it set up here is that there's a folder called demos. All of these demos, like if you just downloaded this, once I do the binary and everything's compiled, if you just download this project, delete demos, you'll be left with these two empty templates and you can just choose whichever one you want to run and then either dump your game in from the game creator or start something from scratch. So that works. Let's make sure that we didn't break these demos by moving that stuff around. That works. All right, so what I want to do next is make sure that we can load the PV8 version. But before we even get to that, there's some other stuff in scripts that I wanted to input. Let's move input factory into input. Base runner should go into runners. And we're going to move the display target into the data folder. All right, so at least this cleans it up. I gotta go back and document all this, which is another thing. But the good thing about having really clean code is that you could do less documentation. So that's one advantage to making these things sort of clean. So I mean, another big part of it is actually just testing it out, seeing how things work, and seeing what you like and what you don't like. So all this is organized now. Let's save this out and let's open up. I wanted to open up this other error, or this bug here for unable to point to Lua runner.pv8 file. Now, what we want to do here is we're going to copy this restart game, and let's go now into the scripts. Runners. What's giving me an error here? Editor JetBrains. I don't know why that's giving an error. Let me close this project out real quick and just restart it. Ironic that the JetBrains plugin is throwing an error inside of Rider. So we'll just give Rider a second to think about what it's doing with its life. All right, it's going to drive me nuts that this thing is saying it's got an error. I wonder what its error is. I don't think it's finished parsing it yet. All right, now the error is gone. So maybe that was just what it was. It just hadn't finished parsing it. So let's go into runners, Lua demo runner. And what we're going to look for was the restart game. And we're just going to paste this in here. Now, what I want to take a look at is in the regular demo runner. How do I restart? Load from directory. This calls start. All right, here I break it out because, well, that's weird. Base start. If we call base start here, I see. All right, right. The Lua demo runner extends the base runner. It doesn't extend this runner. So what we should do here also is let's add base in demo runner here. Let's just add this. Because now both of the runners will be able to work and still load in a zip file or a PVA file. So now that that works, well, in theory that works, let's come back here and let's just run this empty template and see if it works. So now it works where it's just loading up. Let's see here. It's just loading up this empty template. Let's add PV8 to it and see if that still works. And there we go. It opened up. It's now loading the PV8 file correctly, which means if we were to, let's do build settings. Let's switch to Android real quick. And let's see if we can, let's delete this. We'll add the open scene. And let's do a build and run. Now we'll go to the player settings. I just want to make sure that everything is sort of set up here. Resolution and presentation, fine. Icon, splash image, none. Other settings, right. Pixel Vision Runner, fine. We'll leave it at that. API level is 19. That looks good. All right, let's do a build and a run. I'll open up that little streaming thing. Oh wait, before I do that, let me put in my password. I should just reset this tablet to be like a demo tab. I mean, I have enough tablets laying around that I could easily do that. Let's see if we can do a quick build and run. And now we'll make a builds folder, builds, create, and we're going to call this, what is this? Empty template demo Lua runner. And we'll make this Android. It's a mouthful. And now let's export that. So this is a clean build with everything else that we've learned from yesterday to see if we can actually take the Unity runner project and just get it to compile to Android. And hopefully if this works, we will we can move on with our life and do some cool stuff this morning. It's still not too late to do some cool stuff. While this sorts itself out, I'm going to put my music back on. It's very quiet in here. So I was saying earlier, like I have like the template, like the way I have my computer set up right now is, hey, hello. The way I have the my computer set up for the streaming is sort of convoluted, which is why like I have my iPad is basically the display for my Windows computer. So okay, I have a Mac that I'm running on. I'm outputting the HDMI from my Mac to a capture card. The capture card is going into a Windows PC. In order for me to see the Windows PC, I'm remote desktop into it from my iPad, and I'm playing my music off of my iPad. So it works because what was happening before was Build failed. Failed to repackage resource. See the console for details. Maybe I think the package is wrong. Let's set it to 22. I think this is what we were running into the other day. Ugh, such a mess. So in order to get all this stuff working, it requires a lot of finagling between these computers. Because I was trying to do the capturing stuff off of my laptop, but it's not powerful enough to do the capture while I'm running Unity. Is it going to build? Come on. Was I an idiot? Did I just hit build instead of build and run? Nope, Unity's thinking. You can tell it's thinking because it installed it. Look, it's going to do it. It's going to... Come on. All right, wait. Sometimes it takes a second for it to load. All right. That didn't work. Terminal. Let's take a look at what's going on under the hood. What we found out yesterday too is that Unity isn't able to do a debug build, so I have to like manually go through the log file like this. Side load. Clean up application. Default service. So did it not like run? I'm looking to see if there's some sort of DLL not found. Mono Poxo helper. Sure, whatever. Clean up application, kill, start. I was trying to see if there's some sort of like failure from trying to load. Ugh. Clean up here. Beginning Amazon main. I don't know. Let's see if we kill this application and I rerun it. Should be like right around here. Extract file. Compression mode. IO. Alright, so it was able to find the file. It just isn't able to extract it. File name unknown. So this was something weird that I noticed yesterday. I'm gonna take the Reaper Boy zip assets, streaming assets, PV8. I noticed yesterday that only a PV8 file that was created in the game creator worked. Let's just put this here and see if only on Android. Everything else seems to be fine. Android seems to be this like sort of like wacky drunk platform today where it just doesn't want to do anything. What am I looking at? Let's look for this little runner. And I'm just going to try to... I'm going to try to do this. Let's run this and see if it works real quick. And then I'm going to rebuild this to Android. And let's see what... if it just loads it up, is maybe there's something weird where the way that I'm packaging them up inside of the game creator makes it a valid folder. I don't know. You should be able to zip up a bunch of files and then have it load. But but I honestly didn't expect to run into this much of an issue on Android with the streaming asset folder. Months ago, when I made the move over to the streaming asset folder, I was like, oh wow, this is going to work out really well. And boy, is it up. Okay, so that's weird. That's really weird. What's so special about this zip that the other ones... Maybe it's something with the way that it names the file? It's inside? All right, because if I can't just... Let's do a test here real quick. Let's use zip. We're going to unzip this guy, and then we're going to zip all this stuff back up manually. So let's compress all these items, and we're going to call this Reaper Boy PV8. Yes. And now let's put this here. I want to run this and make sure that we're able to load that PV8 file. You had to switch to IL2CPP. Yeah, well, then I couldn't get the... Mike's saying we had to switch to the IL2CPP, which I believe we do, but I couldn't get the NDK to run because it requires like a really old version of the NDK. All right, so this runs. Let's do another build real quick. I just want to see... I want to see why the Android build doesn't like it when the Mac zips up the project. Maybe Mac is adding something to it. Let's do another build and run. I can look into the IL2CPP thing. I just got to find the right... I just got to re-download the NDK. Like when I tried doing that, it gave me a bin file, and I couldn't extract the bin file on my Mac. I don't even know. Let's see. Oh, here. So now it's going to load this up. We'll give it a minute. And that's like really strange. For some reason, it doesn't like the Mac zip file. Huh. Because it's finding it. It's not throwing an error anywhere. That's strange. I wonder if... Let's try a different zip program. Let's just like install this virus on my computer. I don't even know what this is. It's just like, hey, let's just search the internet and put some program on my computer. How bad could it get? iZip. Yeah, it's okay. You can open it. I don't really know. Yeah, sure. Let's assign this agreement too. I just think the system component need to be installed or update. Please. No, see, like, all right, you lost me there. I was almost going to let you install that virus, but now I'm not. Mike, there's no exception from the console, and actually, there's no way I could actually paste it. How to zip files on a Mac? Where's WinZip for the Mac? Which was the first compression? Sure, why not? Let's start. Holy shit. I fucking hate this. Why? Like, it's an advertisement. I didn't see that. Like, download, 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 download. But hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. Before we make any other decisions today, we have to install a I have to install a where's Chrome apps? I have to install an ad blocker. Oh, where's the other one that I normally use? Oh my God. Today I'm just going to install every virus known to man on my computer. This is a safe download. Is this the right one? Yeah, I was looking for ad block. That's cute that they like hide that. Add extension. Yes, please. Let's like go back to this page for a second. No, I do not want notifications. How is it blocking 20? Oh, well, okay, at least it blocked this one. All right, yeah, here we go. See, now I don't have this stupid download. I don't know why I can't find this one. I'm not going to, oh my God, just like so many ads. I hope you're not hearing that. I'm so sorry. Let's go back to installing a virus on my computer. Yeah, Mike, I can't, the chat's on my tablet, so I can't click on any links or just go to my tablet. This is my convoluted streaming setup here. If you're tuning in, I'm just trying to see how many viruses I can install on my Mac today by randomly downloading zip software. Yeah. What I'm really trying to figure out, why does WinZip need to access my contacts? Is there anything, like, does that not like set off an alert? No. Do not use evaluate, whatever. Fuck it. I don't even, holy sh. Ah! Why is this randomly opening up Windows on my computer? Whatever. Okay, all I need to do is a sanity check to make sure that if I just use a different zip program, that the thing will work. I just want to see what the fuck's inside here. Yesterday, I didn't curse at all. I didn't curse a single time because of even through all the other stuff that I was going through. But today, I've like lost my patience already. All right, let's move this to trash. Let's take all this stuff here. And let's create a new zip file. Where is it saving it to? How do I even save in this? No wonder this thing sucks. All right, I've added everything to the zip. Wouldn't like there be an export somewhere? Rename zip, save. Save to this Mac. Where else would I want to save it to? I hate when like stupid stuff asks you to save to the cloud when it like shouldn't. Ah, wrong window. Reaper boy. All right, well that did what I didn't want it to do. Let's drop this extension. Use PV8. Now, let's just take a look before I uninstall this thing, because it's already annoying me. Let's see. All right, so it runs this. Now, just to make sure this is Reaper Boy, let's do, let's just rename this to Reaper Boy 2. And that should be gray screen. We're going to rename this guy to Reaper Boy 2. all it wants to send all your contacts to virus with attachments. Yes, that's exactly what it wants to do. Let's quit that. All right. All I need to do right now is just see if this works. Build and run. All right. If you're just tuning in, I'm trying to just test out creating a zip file for a Pixel Vision 8 game manually and dumping it into this folder, because what we learned yesterday is that Android, I can't access the streaming assets folder. I have to actually, I have to know which file I'm using because it's zipped up. So what I'm trying to do is compile the files into a zip, or build the files into a zip and launch it. Let's see if this works. Come on. Load correctly. So I'm trying to rule out that the Mac creating the zip file is the problem. Huh. So it's not the Mac, and WinZip didn't really create a zip that worked. So it looks like it's tied to, I hope that's not the case. It looks like it might be tied to Pixel Vision 8. So because of this, I have, first off, let's get rid of WinZip. We definitely don't need WinZip on this computer. Bye-bye. I got rid of that other crappy one, that iZip one, right? Yeah. Now, I don't know why on Android it doesn't unzip it, but on the Mac it works perfectly fine. No clue. I mean, Mike wanted me to send this to him. I don't even know where it starts. I'm even more concerned that Unity's trying to find the let's do this. Let's quit out of this game here real quick. And all right. Let's do this. I'm going to reopen and see what it does when it goes to the console and looks at the zip file. And I'll put this in a paste bin and send that over to Mike. So I believe it should be pastebin.com/S7J6 capital J A capital Y Y. Let me know if that works. And that, when I was looking through it, it says right here, it's getting to the compression stream. It's just saying file unknown. It's extracting the file. If it didn't read it, it would have just thrown an error. IO expression system, compression mode, leave open, file name unknown. Like, so it is reading it. Extract, it's calling the base runner, extract from memory. Wait for request. Move next. I don't know why that, I don't know. We can debug that later. It's really weird because it works fine on the desktop. And this is what I'm seeing. Like, there's just all kinds of weird little inconsistencies on Android that I can't account for. All right, so the good news is that we were able to we're testing this out. We were able to get this to run on Android. And we've moved the demo runners into the main script folder. So let's close this out. And what I'm going to do is going back to, okay, let's do one other test, right? I got a new build of Pixel Vision 8. Where did I put it? In transfer, documents, Pixel Vision 8, Game Creator Pro. I created a new build this morning. I was going to open this up and let's see if we can just create a PV8 file from. Sorry, that was going to be loud. Wait, hopefully the volume was off. Is it muted? Okay, good, it was muted. So what is running here? All right, so here's a build of Reaper Boy. Did I rename? Wait a minute. Maybe I did make a mistake here. Well, you know what? I don't think I did this test correctly because projects, Unity runner, assets, streaming assets, Reaper Boy. Well, no, that is the one that I made from 10:24. What time is it? Yeah. All right, let's delete all this stuff for a second here. Move this stuff to the trash. And then I'm going to create a new, I'm just going to archive this. Let's create an archive. And we'll copy that over. Now, I got to figure out where, oh, I remember where I put it. Workspace, games. Now, let's see if this runs on Android. Because if this runs, what I'll do is I'll manually try to make it. I'm just like so baffled as to why. Here, I'll name is Jesse. Let's see what. Let's see now if this will actually load. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be a great way to lock you guys into using the game creator in order to create the PV8 file, but that's not what I'm trying to do. All right, so that works. Let's build and run real quick. Hold on, I gotta shut it down on the tablet. All right, so build and run. Let's see if it'll load up on the tablet. Zip store issue 20. All right, let me open it up here and see what that is. Unable to find mono apostrophe tabs. After change Unity build settings to this exception disappears. The only problem is that I have to use Streamway to decompress the files in the stream assets, but this is Unity's problem, so I'm worried about memory usage. The plugin you're using has some issues on Android. No clue why it works in one zip but not the other. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out too. But here, look, so that's what's strange. Like, that zip works. Well, I think I know why it works in one zip and not the other is because I'm using that zip plugin to create the archive. I'm not using the desktop to create the archive. So like now, if I came back here and let's go into the sandbox, for example, and if I take all this stuff here and I create a new archive, which is exactly what it's doing in the code, and we call this Reaper Boy Test 2 PV8. And now if I copy this over to here and we rename this, let's actually delete the old one so we don't get a false positive. So now if I run this, good. Next, let's rebuild this to Android. I mean, the big problem is that this is... I have to just come up with a better solution for Android. I don't know. I have to figure out a better way to do this. The way that Pixel Vision 8 works is it just assumes that you can access all the files in the streaming assets folder. So the fact that Android doesn't allow you to give access to that, it complicates things a lot. I mean, there are lots of other ways that I could go about doing this. Yeah, look at that, man. Creating that same zip on the Mac doesn't work. Wow, is that frustrating or what? All right, so let's see something else here. I wanted to I don't understand now why when I compile this it doesn't give me the full demos. Let me copy over. I wanted to the whole reason I wanted to do this is I wanted to actually do a speed test. I just wanted to see what the performance. I can't get a good sense of what the performance is like. With it just showing the start screen. So let me do this. Let's go to assets, streaming assets, Lua demos, and let's find the Sprite stress test. And I'm just going to copy this over to the workspace, and I just got to do this all manually, which is really annoying. So Pixel Vision 8 looks for a sandbox folder inside of its workspace, and now if I rerun this, we should get the this demo. All right, so let's go to the save. I just want to make sure that this all got copied over correctly. Yeah, Sprite draw demo. So what we'll do is we'll archive this. And then I'm going to take this archive and paste it here. It's really bothering me that I can't create a zip file on the desktop. Like that should just sort of work. But whatever, we'll just do this manually right now. I can always look at that later. No one wants to really watch that anyways. What we really want to see is Pixel Vision 8 even viable in Android? But if it doesn't even run well, then there's no point in me even trying. All right, let's do a build and see. This program is like pushing ads to my tablet, which is driving me nuts as well. I should look into doing the IL2 CPP thing, because I bet you some of these problems might just go away with that too. Like I just hate losing days to trying to get something that should work working. Come on, just run the demo. All right, so that's a much bigger problem right now. It's only running at 18 frames a second. Hey, Mike, were you able to get anything running on Android? I'm kind of curious. Now, I've tested this out before. I've tested this out before, and I've had Pixel Vision 8 running at like full frames. I wonder if I'm going to disconnect this for a second and see if it has something to do with this capture software. Because this should like run, it shouldn't run at 20 frames a second, that's for sure. That's concerning. I'm going to restart the tablet and just see if maybe something is, maybe from like all the testing we've done, it's just like things bogging down the performance. But that's really weird. I mean, I originally built this on a Fire tablet. So, I mean, maybe this device is a little old. I don't know. I have to look back through my stack of tablets. Well, while we have Android, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go find some other devices. Yeah, well, it shouldn't be capped. I've early on I've tested out the Fire tablets, and I've had this stuff running at like very fast frame rates on the lower end devices. I restarted the tablet, and I pulled out 2 other tablets I have here. No, man, I'm still getting like 20 frames a second. That's crazy. All right. So that's like other problems I need to look into. I wonder if I got another tablet here. Not like you could see any of this stuff. I have an NVIDIA tablet, but it's not charged. None of my other tablets are charged. I have a Shield. I have a GD, whatever this thing is called, a GPD, which actually has like built-in controllers and stuff. It can be used like for emulators. Is this even a battery? Well, it's turning on, so that's good. All right. Well, something's not right. No, don't install the APK. I guess it's just going to install malware on every tablet I plug in. I just want to see if I can do a quick build to this thing. Build and run. This GPD thing is pretty interesting. I got it from like, well, I got it off of eBay. I think it's from like China, but it's like, it looks like a 3DS. So it like, but it's an Android screen and it has like controls. So I'd gotten it also for testing out Pixel Vision 8 on Android. I just wasn't expecting to run into so many, unable to install the APK. See the console for details. I don't know if I set this to like unable to install APK. Those are some great. Those are great bugs. Thanks, guys. I don't even know how to get this thing into dev mode. Oh, here, let me go to settings. System info. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Advanced settings. There we go. Oh man, it's been so long since I've like... It's been so long since I've about tablet. Ugh. So stupid. I'm trying to figure out where I can do no need, you're already a developer. All right. Android 4.4.4. I don't even, okay. I'll deal with this later. I don't Future tablet community games run quite differently on them. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I know way too much about how Android runs differently on different Android tablets. Well, what we should do is I should run this real quick on iOS. I'm kind of curious now to see what the performance is like on iOS. I'll get this to work. I just need to like sit down and really think through what's going on. But the things that I'm trying to get done today we are making some progress. It may not seem like it. It's probably boring as hell to anyone who's watching. I'm so sorry. Next week I'm at GDC. When I come back, I will actually get back into doing game development. But I mean, like the 80% of game development is this crap. Like trying to get things to just run on different platforms, making sure that things are working, optimizing performance, all that kind of stuff. We should try to get the other thing working, the LL whatever. Let's see if we can get Android's NDK to work. It's just demotivating, right? Like I don't want to. It's like hard for me to like invest some time in building the game when I'm having some problems. Now it's funny; it works perfect on desktops. That's not a big deal. All right, cool. That built the project. Let's go into Xcode, and I'm also trying to get this. I gotta connect this thing to my Wi-Fi. So let me open up this project. We'll go to projects, Unity Runner, builds, iOS. And while it does that, I got to try to find my Wi-Fi password. Oh wait, it's processing. Anybody know a good joke outside of like trying to get Unity to run on Android? Where is the picture I took of my router as password? All right, I'm going to try to figure this out. What is it? I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just trying not to say my password out loud. Not like anyone's near my house in order to steal my internet. I'm going to try to get this this GPD thing to update itself. All right. Well, it connected itself to the internet, so that's good. Developer options. Desktop backward. Stay awake while charging. USB debugging is enabled. Power mode. Menu report. Allow mock locations. Select. Verify apps over USB. Wireless display certificate. All right, well, everything seems to be correct on this. I don't know why it didn't let me... I don't know why it didn't... I don't know why it didn't update. System update. Let's see if I need to update the system. Check for updates. Your system is up to date. I find that hard to believe. All right, whatever. Like each one of these tablets is like a. Each one of these tablets is a special use case. I don't know. I don't understand Unity sometimes. All right, so com dot pixel vision 8 dot runner, and we'll just leave it like this. And Team Jesse. All right, let's save this, and then we'll build it to my iPad. And I just want to see. I just want to see what the frame rate's now like on my iPad. I mean, my list of things, like all the devices sitting around here that I want to test on, I got a whole bunch of Android tablets. I got a whole bunch of iPads, some iPhones. I want to test it on Xbox. I don't know why, but I bought an Xbox One X. But I was playing around it I was playing around it in dev mode, which seemed like really exciting. I was like, okay, well maybe this warrants why I should have it. But then on Windows, I couldn't get anything to build towards the Windows Universal platform, so that's another thing. I also got to get... I know desktop works fine. I don't know. I got to like rethink the architecture of Pixel Vision 8 for the streaming assets if I'm going to build a mobile version. Oh, Mike's saying that he managed to get it on an Xbox list. It runs well, at least for a platformer sample with the blue ball. Oh, really? You got that? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's been on my list too. I have to. I have Boot Camp on this laptop, so what I'll do is I'll make like a clean account, and I can start doing that. Maybe I'll do that next week. All right. So since it's running on my iPad, it just booted up. All right, let's take a look at what it. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it, but I can. There we go. We're getting 56 frames a second, running perfect on the iPad. I think there's just something wrong with this Unity, this version of Unity, and there's two approaches. Only thing I had to do we're adding normal Unity input gamepad support. Yeah, I haven't added gamepad support. All right, cool. So Mike has gotten Pixel Vision 8 to run on an Xbox. Look at him. He's such a good guy. I miss working with Mike. He's like one of the smartest guys I know. All right, so let's see if we can fix Android. I mean, what else are we going to do today, right? All right, so I'm going to switch back here and... I don't know if I'm as smart as you, but thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go to... clearly, I'm not smart enough to get Unity to work. Let's get external tools, and let's download this MDK. All right, so then, hey, Mike, I got this .bin file. Like, how do I even open this on my Mac? Because this is what... Like, I was trying to extract it. Tips: if your Mac correctly interprets the bin file extension, recognizes the file as a Mac binary, it will identify it according to lists. If your Mac doesn't immediately bin, right-click on the field, choose Open with, select Archive Utility. This is what I was doing yesterday, and then it like became this like Russian doll, like one thing inside. Open with Archive Utility. Yeah, open it. Right, so now it became a CPGZ. Now, do I unzip that next? All right, let's see how far this goes. Up into another bin, which should give me a CPGZ back. Yep, then it gives me another CPG. Oh, you've been using Windows. Ugh, I know. I should go back to Windows. I hate being on Windows. All right, well, that's stupid. That didn't work. Ugh. Open Android NDK bin on Mac. It's not obvious how to extract the Android NDK for the Mac, so I thought I'd share it here. You have to do it from terminal. Fuck. Yeah, so Mike, I did that through Android Studio, and then the problem with Android Studio is that Android Studio installs the latest version of the NDK, and the version of Unity I'm using doesn't like that. All right, let's open this bad boy up in terminal. Uh, 25 years of coding to get me to the point where I can actually like almost figure these problems out. I feel bad for anyone who like is just getting started. Why do I need to do that? Whatever. No such file exists. Sure it does. Mod a plus x. Oh, and I see. Android dot. Well, how is this missing? Hold on a second. Let's clear print working directory. ls. Is this the same one? ndkr10d e. You have to do it from terminal. Change the directory with your ndk bin, then cmod a plus x android ndk. All right, to android ndk bin. Really? Invalid file mode for az. Oh, the ax. Oh, is it two lines, right? No, wait, what? AX. Did it do anything? Delete that part. All right, chmod a plus x. But why is it changing? I don't understand. Why do I need to change the permissions? It's not. Then run. Brain's not working. Thanks, Mike. I owe Mike a beer. We should. I'm never in the city, but next time I'm in the city, I'll let you know. We should get together. All right, come on. Do your thing. Give me an NDK. Tired. I woke up at like 4 this morning. I usually wake up every morning at 3, but now that we've changed the time ahead, I now wake up at 4. And I've been trying to force myself to go back to sleep, but today I couldn't do it. And I should actually stand. My legs are killing me. I got up early, and I had this I have like this whole automated system for writing books. So I went into, I've been converting everything into Google Docs, all my old Word books, and then I can automate Google Docs to output Git books, which are really cool. And then from Git book, I can go anywhere. So I've been, I woke up this morning early and started doing one of my old Unity books to see if I can update it. Android SDK. Let's just put this guy here. You can't hear my angry teen music. What am I listening to? Well, it's my teen music, so now it's oldies. Bush. What is it playing? Swim by Bush. I don't know. I have some daily mix. I just let Spotify pick music. It's too taxing to decide what I'm actually going to listen to anymore. Is that done unzipping or copying over? All right, so let's browse here. Studio, shared, Android, NDK, choose. All right, that accepted it. Let's go to build settings. And then from there, let's go to player settings. And I don't want this. I want ARM. And I want IL2CPP. I guess we'll leave it as .NET subnet. I don't subset. I don't think it does anything. Prefer external Android compatibility. Is there anything I'm missing here? Autographic API, multi-threaded rendering. Why is there an asterisk here? Static batch, GPU skinning, virtual reality support, no. Protected graphics, memory. All right, there's no other optimization. The only other optimization I could think of is that I might need to change the texture compression, but literally all the runner is a single texture on the screen. Oops, hold on, let me put in my password. All right, so let's do the player settings. Oops, I want to do a build and run. Android APK replace. Let's see what it does. I hate that this thing is pushing ads to it. Oh, now you guys can see the books I read. I should set this up as a dubbing account. It's the irony of everything, like everything tracks you now. So for this, I'm on a, for this stream, I'm on a, oh, this is taking a long time. What did I do here? Yeah, we'll just keep doing the same thing. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Well, this takes a lot longer, huh? For the stream, I just created a new account that is called Studio on my computer, so that everything's sort of separated. But it gets to the point where I still have to like log into other accounts, so I might as well just dev on my regular computer. Resetting all this stuff up over like for two separate accounts is also kind of annoying. So maybe I'll just go back. Maybe I'll just stream from my regular computer. Who knows? I like separation of personal from work, but I don't think that even exists anymore. Come on, you can do the build. Hey, Mike, does this take like an insanely long time for you? Guess it's just like par for the course. Like nothing I've expected Android to do works. Well, hey, while this decides to do something, I'm gonna get some water. All right, I'm taking a compiling break. I'll be back in a minute. I can imagine the Xbox. It's a pretty big jump in time. Not absurdly long, though. All right, I'll just let it do its thing. I'm going to get some water, and maybe something will pop up on the screen. I can imagine the Xbox takes a long time. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I took the liberty of trying to eat something. So, it's running at 30 frames a second. So it is faster. That is, that's strange. I don't know why. This tablet should run this pretty fast. Maybe we should try the C# demo. See how fast this thing runs native. Let's do that. What else are we doing this morning, guys? Girls, if anyone else is in here. All right, let's clear this out. The only thing that I want to see if we can do here is let's copy this, go into the C# demo. Huh. I need to do this in demos, scenes, Sprite, stress test, C#. All right, let's put this here and run this and see if it works. So this is the native one. I'm still loading the same resources from that zip folder. I just don't execute the Lua code. Now let's go to build settings, delete this, add the open scene, build it and run and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't take forever. My whole goal was to go get a drink, and I didn't even do that while I was down there. Muted it. I figured you didn't want to hear me drinking from a water bottle. Now, I have a bunch of other tablets here too. All right, I'll have to charge this NVIDIA Shield. Huh. Why is Android so slow? Now, the next step in this awfully long and quite boring journey is I could switch over to Unity 2017 where it should be faster. But the problem is if I switch over to Unity 2017, then I can't get, let's see if this loads. Hey, look at that. So the C# run, C# is running at 58, almost native speed. The Lua one isn't on Android. Now, I've not seen that kind of a performance dip. So, okay, what this means is we can rule out the, it's not rendering and it's not code execution. The only code execution problem is the Lua interpreter. It looks like the Lua interpreter is running too slow, at least on this one Android device. Now, like I said, I must have like a box of like 6 other devices or a drawer full of these things. So I'll go through and I'll test other tablets. But the fact that this is running at full speed is interesting. Well, at least I know that Pixel Vision 8 runs. I mean, the reality is that the Lua side of things isn't really meant for production code. It's meant to allow you to build a like to sketch out an idea of a game and to sort of have some fun with it. It's really designed for game jams. Ideally, you'd come back into C# and rebuild the game in C#. Since a lot of the APIs are the same, it doesn't take very long to actually do that. So, all right, what I want to do real quick is let's just make sure I didn't screw this stuff up. Yeah, like let's not save this scene. Let's go back into the Sprite stress test. I just want to make sure that Lua shouldn't be that slow. Like I've said, I mean, on the desktop, there's like almost, maybe I lose like 10% at most, right? But it was running fine on iOS. Something is wrong. I got to look back through and see why it's running like that. All right, this is running correctly. The other things that I want to do while we're in here is let's come here and I wanted to restructure all of the I wanted to restructure where the demo files go. So I'm just going to undo all this stuff that I've done so far and get this project back to its sort of default state. So let's go to build settings. Right, we have no scenes. We're going to switch it back over to Windows, Mac, and Linux. If we run this, we should be good to go. And at this point, I'm happy with how everything is working, because what we've done, the wins that we have today is that we are able to now load a zip, even though manually creating the zip isn't working, which I can look into. That's the library, but it's only on Android. Only on Android. It seems like Android's going to be the biggest edge case. Now, let's commit all these changes, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to move the submodules over to the demos folder, because the goal is when you download this runner, I just want you to be able to, if you don't want to do the demos, you can just delete the demos, and at the root of the assets folder are these two scenes, and these two scenes will let you just start building your own thing from the empty template. Like in the streaming assets folder will be an empty template folder, so that you just go in and you could write your own Lua code and modify this and build your own game. So let's save this and then look into how we can move the Lua demos out. The other thing we need to do is documents, projects, game creator source. No, I want the Unity runner, builds, assets, streaming assets folder. Let's delete all this other stuff. We don't. I don't need the. I don't need that anymore. The .8 file or the .pv8 file. We just want an empty template. So this way, like I said, you can just come in and start writing your own game using the empty template. So if you're just tuning in, I've been. Well, now I'm cleaning the dust off of my mic's boom because I'm strangely just noticed it, and now it's disgusting. I've written this open source game engine, and the goal is to actually build games with it one day, which I've been trying to do. But I've been trying to get it to run on Android and iOS and mobile, and whatever else I can compile to from Unity. And we've just been sorting out the little issues that Unity likes to throw at us. So let's do this. We don't have to quit. I'm just going to open up the Unity runner in terminal. Why did I lose my new terminal at folder? I guess this was at the bottom of the screen. All right, so let's do Git Status and take a look at what's going on here. So we've deleted a few things. We've moved some things around, and we've created some new files. The editor folder is back, but it's not including the writer plugin, which is good. All right, we should be good to go. So git add all and git commit cleaning up files in project. And I just want to make sure we are in the right branch. Right, git push all. So that'll push everything. That'll push all of our changes up. And then now what we're going to do is I'm going to remove, well, All right, let's go into the Git submodules real quick here. Let's just open this up and add them. I'm going to remove this Git submodule, and I'm going to create a new... Whoops. Sure. Are you installing a virus too, Adam? We already have... We're virused out from earlier today. What I wanted to do was change the path of the Lua demos. So let's do this. We're going to remove the submodule manually. There's a command for it in Git, but I just want to test something out first before I get like all into this refactoring. Unity runner. And what I wanted to do was in the demos folder, I want to create a new streaming assets folder. And so this is the thing that I don't understand about. Oh, shoot. Well, it looks like I already deleted the Lua demos. Dar. All right. Let's do Git submodule, and then we want to put this in assets. Why is that not a I'm in the Unity runner, assets slash. I swear it used to be like you double clicked on tab or double press tab and it would autocomplete. So what's not auto completing here? CD assets slash demos. Okay. So Git submodule. Let's see if we can just figure out. I can't remember the submodule command. So I want to make sure I do this right. Git submodule add. All right, so Git submodule add this, and we're going to put this in assets slash demos slash streaming assets, right? Isn't that streaming assets slash Lua demos? The following path is ignored by one of your git ignore files. Huh? ¿Por qué? Why would that path be ignored? Asset staging. I don't understand. What's ignoring? What? Idea, assets, plugins, JetBrains. Project settings.meta. Yeah, do it. Submodule add. Clone of Git Lewis into submodule path, assets, demo, streaming assets. Cannot create directory. Git submodule add And let's just drag this folder here. Maybe I should like sleep more. Oh, here's why I'm an idiot. I did it at the root. So I had a / for assets. And then this should just be streaming assets / Lua demos. If you want to reuse this local Git directory instead of cloning again from... If the local Git directory is not the correct repo or you're unsure what this means, choose another name with the name option. Who wants to watch me struggle with Git for a few hours? Assets, streaming assets is found locally. What? Demos, streaming assets. Hold on. All right, there we go. That took long enough. And let me just make sure that that got done correctly. Git submodule should now be assets, demo, streaming assets, Lua demos. Assets, demos, streaming assets, Lua demos. So here we go. The big thing that I want to test out right now is I've not had much luck with getting Unity to load. We can actually close that out. I've not had much luck with getting Unity to load a streaming assets folder when it's nested inside of another folder like this. Now, it should be able to do this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a... we're going to create a Windows, a Mac build of this. And then I'm going to look inside the folder and try to figure out where the hell it puts this thing. So let's see, builds, Mac OS. We're going to call this, what did I call the other ones? Sure, empty template, Lua runner, blah, 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 blah. All right. We'll build this and like, okay, in the normal world where everything in Unity worked like it was supposed to, wherever you put a streaming assets folder should just resolve to the root of the internal compiled applications asset folder. Does not happen with the asset folder. It happens with resources. It happens with all kinds of other folders. It doesn't happen with this one. So what I'm trying to do is let's show the package contents, and we're going to go to resources, data, streaming assets, empty template. Now, what the documentation, let's look at the glorious Unity streaming assets documentation. This barely a page of documentation really doesn't tell you anything about it. It doesn't tell me if I can have multiple of these. I guess I can only have one path. Is that maybe the only way that it works? The location of this folder varies per platform. Sure. I guess you can only have one. Let's see here. Unity multiple streaming assets folders. Streaming, you may want to want the assets to be available as a separate file in the original format, although this is more common directly incorporate assets to the build. For example, you need to access a video. Blah, blah, blah. You can place a folder called streaming assets is copied unchanged to the target machine, which is a lie, because on Android it's compressed, where it's available from a specific folder. You can only have one streaming assets folder, and it must be placed in the root project, directly within the assets folder. Place the needed as... Okay, so that's why I've never been able to get it to work. All right, that sucks. All right, well, I guess that solves that problem. Well, I'm not talking about subfolders. What I was trying to do is I wanted it to be where there were two different streaming assets folders, but that's just not going to work. So what I'm going to do is let's just do assets, streaming assets folder here. We're going to redo this because what better way to update Git than by manually updating its own files? Let's go here to demos, streaming assets, and we're going to delete this. And then back here, print working directory, clear. We're going to do git submodule update init. No URL found. Didn't I save this? How about this? Let's git checkout git modules. All right, so we recheck this out. Let's take a look at what this says. Assets, demos, streaming assets, perfect. Let's do this. Great. I'm just pulling back down this submodule. So my hope was that you could just delete the demos folder, but you're always going to wind up with these Lua demos in there. So you'll just have to do that too. I can't make this like completely foolproof. Assets, demos, streaming assets, Lua demos, git status, git fetch, git checkout v1.8.0 features, git branch. All right, so this is on the correct branch now. All right, and we are good to go. So now, let this guy recompile. Let's rerun this, and hopefully our demos and stuff should work. So let's just go into our... Why is this still here? Crap, what did I do here? Did I screw up this submodule? Assets, demos, no. Whoa, no. All right, let's figure out how to git remove submodule. Delete the section referring to the submodule in the git. Okay, that's what I did. Save the changes via git in the submodule. Delete the relevant section of the submodules in the git config. There we go. All right, we just need to get rid of this guy. And then here, danger. Anytime I have to update these things manually, like anytime I'm updating git config files manually, my brain is screaming that I'm in danger, Jesse Freeman. You're doing bad things today. How can we screw up a project that was working almost fine earlier this morning? All right, Git Status. Now let's try to recheck out the submodule. See Git submodule update init. No URL found for submodule in submodules. Yeah, I know there's no path found to it because it's not there anymore. Assets, streaming assets, Lua demos. Git commit. Graphics setting assets. Editor build settings. Interesting. Git status. Clear. Then git submodule I think I can't re-init it because it probably already thinks it's checked out. Streaming assets. So let's just delete this and I'll just redo it all from scratch. Man, submodules are like the devil in Git. They are so difficult to work with. Like, it's a chore. Like, there should be an easier way of setting up a project where you can depend on other libraries and not have, like, everything just, like, mixed into one giant mess of a Git project. All right, Git submodule add, and we're going to put this in assets / streaming assets Lua demos. If the local Git directory is not the correct repo, or if unused means what? What did it? Fuck. Origin. If you want to reuse this local Git directory instead of cloning it again, use the force option. If the local Git directory is not the correct repo or using name. Where else is this thing stored? What did I do here? Like, how did I screw everything up so badly? Git checkout .git module. All right, that brought it back. Assets, streaming assets, demos. Now git submodule update init. Did you work? 9. Wow, I just like really broke something here, huh? So many weird commands. Why won't this git? Oh, how did I destroy this git submodule? I'm like really confused as to what I did that broke this so badly. I accidentally deleted it here. So therefore, by deleting it there, nothing will ever work again. Config. Let's see if we can get these. Let's see if I can just manually add this back in. Maybe this is the, maybe it doesn't like the HTTP, maybe it doesn't like, oh, it's just using URL instead of that. Is that what was screwing up now? HTTPS Pixelvision 8 Lua demo. Git submodule. Only sees one submodule. How to recover lost commits after Git submodule update. Submodule branch is lost. Adding, using, removing, and updating. Is there a way to force? Easy way to pull the latest from all Git submodules. Recursive remote. Update recursive. Let's see. That did jack. Wow. I really screwed this up. Let's as my voice cracks, as the fear sets in, let's see if we can just re-download this Unity runner real quick and see if that fixes things. There weren't really any other changes here. I mean, it's not terribly bad. I don't know. I don't know yet what the damage is. All I know is that the past two streams have not had very good luck. What am I trying to do? That is a very good and valuable question. What I'm trying to do is I was trying to clean up the structure of this project, and I inadvertently deleted a submodule from my Git project. And what I'm trying to fix is the submodule. So right here should be a submodule. And what's happened is this doesn't have the right files anymore. It should have, well, all right, I'm on master. Let me look at the right branch. This should have a submodule here, which is the problem. And somehow I lost the submodule. So what I'm trying to figure out is how to restore the missing submodule. Yeah, like the real thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get Pixelvision 8 to run on Android better. But that's like that's a side thing. All right, somehow I broke this submodule by deleting. Well, the Git submodule only showed one, so I'm gonna try to let me just try to re-download this real quick, and then I'm gonna try to re-download this submodule, this whole Git project, and see if I can just restore it that way. We're gonna rename this back, and let's go to new terminal. So now git clone, and then from here, what I wanted to do is what was the command again for git initialize? I think it was the easiest way to pull from the latest of all Git. It should be Git update. All right, hold on. Let's first do this. Git fetch. Whoops, cd Unity runner. Git fetch. Git checkout v1.8.0 features. It's funny, like I could fix, like I know what Git needs to do. All Git really needs to do, let me finish my Pomodoro here. Git, in order for Git submodules to actually work correctly, it should include the branch that you want to check out the submodule with. I don't know why it doesn't keep track of the branch correctly. So Git status, I'm now on this branch, right? So let's clear this and then do git submodule update init. And here's the problem. It's only it's only seeing the Pixel Vision SDK submodule. So git delete submodule. Cached path, git remove cache path to submodule. All right, so let's just manually remove that. I think that's what I got to do. So let's open this thing back up here, and we're gonna get rid of. Well, I wonder if we just run path to git modules. Git modules assets. Huh, that's interesting. Info. What all right, so let's try to do git. Let's just try to remove the cache to the path to the submodule, which would be assets / streaming assets / Lua demo. Okay, then let's do it the opposite way. Let's see if we can just re-add. Let's do what it's telling me to do here. We're going to go in and we're going to look at the config, and we're going to delete the Pixel Vision SDK. Oh, hey, look at that. It automatically, well, the config, it's gone. I must have committed that. I'm so stupid. I don't know how I screwed this up so badly. And the other thing we need to do is git submodules. Let's delete this guy. Moron. I committed it with the URL. Is there a way of reading? Yeah, there's only one submodule. Okay, fine. Let's just delete this and call it a day. All right, so delete this. So now CD assets, Pixel Vision SDK status. So with detached head, git fetch, git checkout v1.8.0 features. Branch. All right, so we're in the right branch. Oh my God. Yeah, I want 1.8 to be the default, but then the problem is that, well, the bigger problem is I've deleted the one thing. Let's see here. What I would need to do now is let's just try to set up this new submodule. Because in a few minutes I got to stop the stream and I can't leave this thing broken. So Lua demos, let's clone this guy. And what we'll do is now, okay, so print working directory, let's... Right, okay, so we've modified the git submodule, it's fine. So now git submodule, add, and we want to put this in assets, streaming assets, Lua demos. All right, there we go. So now git submodule update init. and cd assets streaming assets Lua demos print working directory. We are in the right folder. Git status, git fetch. So let's pull down everything. Oops, git fetch, and then git check out v1.8.0 features. All right, whew. We did it. We did it. We did it. Basically, I think this should work now. Let's open up Unity and see. So while I'm feeling like breaking crap, I'm kind of curious if we ran this in Unity 2017, if it would run faster on Android. Like, so the problem of why I'm not using Unity 2017 is that I can't get WebGL to work in it with the Lua interpreter, and this is becoming such a problem. Let's see here. Let's look at the demos. Scenes, canvas demo. Whoa! Hey, it's Unity crash time. All right. Streaming has modified, new commits. Yeah, I understand it. It quit. Git add. Fixing Lua demo submodule. Let's see if I push this, if the submodule actually shows up, and then what we could do is we can go back and figure out the other piece. So, sorry, aggressive beep. You're asking questions. The specific WebGL issue has to do with Moonsharp, which is the Lua interpreter I'm using, and because of that, it throws some like crazy error, and I can't. Oh no! Oh wait, I'm not in the right branch. Yeah, sorry. Okay, cool. The Lua demos are here, and it's at the right place. All right. All right, so that's that. Now, what we got to do is let's figure out why Unity is deciding to be a pain in the butt. Because this is like a new install. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I can't. The code is so complicated that it's very difficult to really figure out what the real problem is. Because Unity 2017, well, any version of Unity takes so long to compile WebGL, and then the output is so. Specify what the problem is. The problem is Unity? Why all of a sudden is Unity having a problem with this project? Come on, Unity. All right. Let's open up a scene. And let's go to the build settings and add a scene. What is throwing this error? Yeah, why is this plugin still here? The writer plugin throws these errors. and that plugin shouldn't exist. I deleted that thing. It's like the cat that keeps coming back. What's going on today, man? This whole week has been lost to just like tracking down weird Unity issues. Wait, all right, I was about to say I shouldn't be here. Yeah, this should be deleted. What the I put a git ignore on this thing. All right, we got to solve this problem because this is what's crashing Unity. I figured this out in another project that if the writer plugin loads and it doesn't have there we go, and it doesn't have the Visual Studio Project, the SNL or SLN, whatever that thing is, it literally will keep crashing Unity until you delete the plugin. I got to file a bug with JetBrains on that. Git ignore. So that should be ignored. And if I come in here to assets, assets, plugins, editor, JetBrains, delete this. Whoops. Yeah, thank you for telling me that. Git status. Plugin. All right, so remove the writer plugin, git push all. And now let's let's do Unity and reopen this up. Just like one day I would like to not have weird Unity problems. It's like 3 days of just me bitching about Unity live on a stream. Maybe I should just rename this to like Jesse's Unity therapy session. All right, you're compiling scripts for a really long time, which makes me worry you're going to crash again. Come on. Why do you hate me, Unity? Let's get rid of this library and let's redo this. Unity. It's amazing, like that temp folder. If Unity runs, when Unity crashes, it doesn't delete its own temp folder, and Unity isn't smart enough to automatically say, "Oh, hey, I'm loading a project for the first time. Let's look to see if there's a temp folder that will make me crash." But it doesn't look for that, and then it just crashes itself. Build settings. All right, that's there. That's there. I haven't created the writer. There's no writer plugin. The demo works. Now, let's open up writer. And then this is going to automatically generate the plugin for the project. And we'll just make sure that the git ignore works. And then that's probably where I gotta call it 12, or maybe it's 12:30 now. I don't even know what it is, but I know I gotta call very soon. I got time to start doing real worky work. Oh, cool. You don't even feel like opening, do you? So now, are you not going to? Now, there used to be a thing in Unity where you could rebuild the There used to be a thing where you could like rebuild the... Oh, and it crashed, huh? Oh, okay. Whew. All right. So, open C# project. Now watch. Now it won't generate a... Now Unity won't generate a C# project. Open a solution or a project. Unity runner. Unity SLN file. There we go. Huh. Okay. I thought I was just going crazy. So now we can open up its SLN file, and then this is going to install the plugin. And let's clear our terminal. It says the plugin's installed. Git status. Fine. It's updated. It deleted the editor metadata, and then it added a new one. Fine, but the plugin isn't now getting committed. So git commit or git add. Nope. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Why is this not being... Whoops. Why is the git ignore not being respected? Assets, plugins. All right, let me just delete all this real quick. I can't remember. How do I git reset unstaged changes? Undo a git dash remove file stage. Git reset. All right, so what I want to do now is go back into the git ignore. So that JetBrains thing shouldn't be assets plugin git add all git status. What is going on, man? Editor JetBrains. I mean, I'm pretty sure git set. Pretty sure I know how a git ignore file works because I swear I added here. That should ignore all the writer stuff. Was I like smoking crack or something with that one? And GitHub, Jesse Freeman, Super Zombie Runner. This shouldn't have plugins. So that works here. What am I missing? It's the same thing. Project settings. Maybe it needs this slash. What the? So anyone on the stream understand why my git ignore is not working? It should be git assets. Even if I did this, git reset. git ignore. Huh. That should not be there. The git ignore has been updated. Missing editor. Oh, you're right. Why is this? Huh. Good call. Why is this different here though? Assets, plugins, editor. Why is this git ignore work then? Maybe I had the wrong git ignore open? Wow. Wonder if I'm just like, you know, this is why I shouldn't wake up at 4 in the morning and then just like not sleep. Let me just double check something real quick here. I wonder if I modified the wrong git status. Nope, I wasn't modifying the wrong one, so git reset. Status, git add. There we go. Thanks, Mike. Why is it working the other one then? I don't know. All right, so git commit updated git ignore to ignore writer plugin. All right, I gotta stop the stream soon. Let's double check here now. So in the Unity runner, if I right, okay, cool. Cool. In plugins, there is no more editor folder. That's going to come back to bite me, I'm sure, but right now it's fine. So with the Lua demos, we have everything else now. All right. Now let's actually run the game and see if Unity crashes again. Nope. Cool. All right, so this is the best I can do. When you load this project up, you'll have these two empty templates to start. If you want, you can delete the demos folder and the streaming assets is such a pain. I mean, it'll work fine on desktop. I'll just have to write notes. So basically, if you want, you have an empty template to start working from. So let's go here. Let's go to this Lua project. Let's go to build settings, delete this and add the open scene, and everything should work. Like if we build and run this, let's create a build folder. We'll just make a test, and that'll work. Now, some of the things I need to test is I still don't understand why the zips aren't working if I build a zip on a Mac. Let's make this windowed. There we go. All right, so it runs on desktop. All right, fine. We'll call this a win for today. So that was the best I could do. I was really trying to get the Lua demos into the demos folder so everything would be in the same place, but apparently streaming assets can only be at the root of the project. There's got to be a better way to do this. I think on the Mac, well, on Android, what I'm going to wind up having to do is zip up the entire streaming assets folder and then come up with like a whole different way for dealing with that. Ugh, that's going to be such a pain in the butt. Like what it should do is when it loads up, it should copy the contents of the streaming asset folder over to the local storage. Because I think on Android, can't you have subfolder? I can't have subfolders in this demos folder, but I can't have another streaming assets folder inside of it. You can only have one streaming assets. What I was trying to do is get the project to be super clean, where if you didn't want any of the demos or any of this Lua stuff, you could just delete the demos folder. This is just a Unity thing. It's annoying. All right, so that's good to go. Again, if you want to struggle through what I just did, you can get the 1.8 branch. This is like all experimental. I'm still working on all of it, but it should be ready by the end of the month. That's why I keep testing this stuff out. Git status, git add all, git commit, minor update for desktop publishing. All right, so that's good to go. All right, well, I think that's my stream for the day. I've run out of time. Next week I'm going to be at GDC, so there's no more streams. Maybe over the weekend. I don't even know if I won't be able to do it over the weekend. My wife is out of town, so it's just me and the boys, and they don't ever let me do fun stuff at night like stream. So what I'll probably wind up doing is when I come back from GDC next week, we'll pick back up, and hopefully I'll work on this. I'm really good at coding on my airplane rides, so I'll probably clean up a lot more of this stuff. I got to clean up some more serious bugs in the game creator. Oh, did we? Let's close out these issues. Look into why Unity Runner has low res. I unable to point Lua Runner. This has been fixed now. Close and comment. And were there any other bugs that I fixed today? There's only 2 other bugs. Add support for loading files in WebGL, which I haven't done yet. So I'll start testing it out. Oh, what's Aggressive Beef saying? Can you have the demos create the subfolder and streaming assets at runtime? Have the template. No, so the problem with creating stuff at streaming assets is that on Android is the only platform where it's compressed as a zip. So even if I have to come up with a solution that works on all platforms. That's sort of what I'm mulling over. The way the game creator used to work is that it would use the local storage. So Unity Android local storage. So it used to be everything, like right now Pixel Vision 8's workspace gets created in the local storage. What I just need to wind up doing is, instead of using the assets, I have to for Android builds only, I have to just zip the whole thing up. What I'm wondering is, let's take a quick look. I really got to go, but I'm kind of curious. Streaming assets. What I'm kind of curious about is maybe there's a way I can just zip this entire thing up when I go for an Android build, then load the zip up into memory, and then just read the files directly out of the zip. Because it's so, like, I would have to create a file that gave me, like, there's so many files. Like, it's so, like, the whole thing is, the whole hierarchy is designed around being able to explore it like a regular file system. So I guess the theory would be, let's see here, get info. This folder is 194 megs. Why is it 194 megs? Holy... No, come on, give me a break. Get info. 1.3 megs. 6.9 megs. 182 megs. Game creator. What is 182 megs? The docs? Am I like just sleep deprived? Did that not say 100? That's 9.6 megs. Okay, yeah, 183 megs because it has the runners, but I don't include these runners. Basically, these runners are pre-compiled versions of that Unity runner I was just working on, so that like all I do is I output it and then just inject your file into it, so you don't have to recompile. But that's not. I have this here so I can have it all in one place, but in the real build, that's not there. So. But for Android, I'd need to do it. The only way to really make this work, which is what I don't want to do, is that I should host this streaming assets file on a server somewhere, and when you install the game creator, it automatically just pulls down that file and installs it for you. The problem I was having and why I moved all this stuff back into the streaming assets folder is that it was really hard to keep it in sync. And when you put things in the streaming assets folder, it's actually bundled in with the executable. So by reinstalling the executable, it automatically made sure that the system files were all up to date. So I don't know. There's a lot that has to go on to make this sort of work. I mean, the biggest thing is that I need to be able to read the BIOS separately. Whatever. Anyways, I'll deal with that later. That's like getting it to work back on Android is lower on my list, but I am kind of curious why it's not running. So, oh well. Well, anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Hey, look, we finished our Pomodoro. We moved the Lua demos, and we tested out not manually creating a zip. So we've accomplished everything we set out to do today. It just feels like a hollow victory. So I will see you all after GDC, and if you are going to GDC, reach out to me. Twitter, I have a Twitter account. It's just twitter.com/Jesse Freeman. So if you are going to be at GDC, hit me up, and we'd love to, say hi. And if you got games and stuff at GDC you're showing, let me know. I'd love to take a look at what you're doing too. So thanks everyone for watching, and see you in a week or so. Yes, in a week.